You know, Ken, perhaps it's a difficult thing to sort of think about or to say. As you were just talking about the state of the Nigerian worker. The members of the Senate, the members of the National Assembly are also workers. Nothing is happening to their remunerations. And look at the great disparity between theirs and the bottom of the pyramid. There was no empathy of, you know what, I think in the circumstances we need to adjust our receivables to show that we're in the same country and quote unquote we do go to the same market. You know, nothing like that.
I can actually speak to that. Senator Yemi Adaramodu will speak to that. But I think that's been severally dealt with, that some of these figures that have been bandied are not the same figures that people should take to heart. That is what is being earned by the senators and the House of Rep members. And don't also forget that some of these will represent federal constituencies and senatorial districts. And the constituents also expect so much from them. Basically, what is the duty of a legislator is to make laws and oversight functions. But people do not look at it that is their basic responsibility. They expect them to not only attract developmental projects, but they also expect empowerment programs to come from them. And looking at what the Nigeria is facing right now, you cannot even imagine what maybe some of the senators and House of Rep members are going through, having to create salaries for their constituents and having to also share what they earn in terms of emolument to mitigate the huge disparity of what some of them earn. And so you can never know except you're wearing that shoe, Uncle Yori.
How tough it is for everybody, without exception, is what you're saying. We're all in this together.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. In a sense, haven't we sort of entered where you thought we might have started from, the state of the nation? Let me take your view on that, because, you know, as you've said, okay, if we want to talk about the Senate in particular and in minute detail, perhaps we have to wait for Senator Adaramodu when he comes on the 13th, the actual anniversary. But okay, let's talk about the state of the nation. How do you see it, the state of the nation? Because you could take it from so many different aspects. You look at it politically, where there's been, you know, we had the opportunity to speak with the Secretary of Senator, well, not in former senator, but once a senator, always a senator. He's secretary of the ruling party, and he has said that, what do you want us to do? If people are knocking your door, want to, you know, to pay a visit, or do you close your door against them? As you know, this has led to so many people wanting to show, quote unquote, goodwill to the ruling party. And there are those who are saying that the way this is going is worrisome. Would you, let's look at your impressions. As you said, you're an analyst yourself. This whole problem, this whole question about might we have the semblance of a one-party state in the making?
Well, Uncle Yeri, you can testify the fact that I had PDP in my DNA. I have appeared on your program and over again, and you know how I was very opposed to the last government and how I stood very firmly against a lot of their policies. But it's when I left the PDP on the 22nd of June, that was 2022, a whole lot of people didn't understand what I was seeing. You know, this issue of blaming President Tinubu for people coming to meet or join his party, I think it's simply absurd. You know, the PDP was already, you know, geared towards implosion as from that decision that was taken. You know, some of us are very vociferous. I'm happy my brother Shegu has seen a couple of the things we saw in 2022, which he didn't agree with us then, because a few of us were quite close. Some of us do speak for the party.
Shegu Shewumi.
Like Kazim Afebwa.
You're talking about Shegu Shewumi.
Afebwa, who in fact, Kazim even left before I left the party, yes. Shegu is very close to me. You know, when I left in 2022, a lot of them didn't understand why I left the PDP. First, it was the biggest mistake the PDP did was to take the decision of zoning the presidency outside the South. Some of us had sentiments, I must not lie to you, that this presidency should have gone to the Southeast. You know, I tried to be very frank. And for me, I was zeroing in on Peter Obi, because then we're all members of the party, because it was going to be a contest between Peter Obi and Pius Anyim. until he threw it open. And Anyim was there, Peter Obi was there, they had all bought forms. Then Wike came, and Udom Emmanuel came, and Atiku now threw his hat into the ring. And everything was pointed towards the fact that they had decided that it was going to be Atiku. I'm also happy my former governor, Ifeanyi Okowa, also saw what we were seeing as at that time, because I greatly disagreed with him. He was the leader of our party in PDP, and I remember sitting down with him and having a one-on-one with him, and we argued these things for not even for 30 minutes. But today he has seen the positions some of us took, that the PDP was greatly carrying out the worst injustice you could imagine by deciding to zone the presidency outside of the South-South. And that was when the implosion started. Atiku was hell-bent on running for presidency, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was very smart. He remained in the course. Peter Obi pulled out, and some of us left the party, and the party has never been the same again. Why am I using the PDP as a point of focus? Because that is the main opposition party that we have now. And ever since I left, 2022 to now is about, have we not reached 22nd of June? I think we have, okay, well, we're not yet there. But that's 3 years of 22, 23, 3 years of my leaving the party. You understand? And what I predicted, it's sad to say, is coming to pass. The implosion I told them was going to happen, because you can't put something on nothing. They had taken a wrong decision. When I was a spokesperson, when I was one of the spokespersons for President Goodluck Jonathan, in which too, there were some decisions that were taken in that 2011 that a lot of people did not know about. So it's not for me to start rehearsing that. So when President Goodluck Jonathan threw his hat into the ring in 2015, we got our fingers burnt, because a lot of people had felt that we had taken the time of Yar'Adua, and President Jonathan had done almost 6 years. So why didn't we go back to the north? But everybody, they were goading him and leading him on, and at the end of the day, PDP lost power. So people that are coming to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu are coming because one of the things they are seeing is the bold initiative he has taken, is the risk he's taking. You might call him all sorts of names, but today we are seeing light at the end of the tunnel. Look at Abuja, where I am today. The PDP was in power. Abuja has never been like this. The International Conference Center was just commissioned, one of the huge cultural centers we have ever had, where diplomatic events take place and so many events take place. Since 1991, when it was built by President Babangida, it had never undergone renovation. And now it has been totally reconstructed. I wouldn't even call that renovation. Look at our roads in Abuja. Look at even the hinterlands. I built 8 flats in Abuja in 2001 in Kubwa. And I remember very well when I built those flats, I remember what Kubwa used to look like, or what the roads were like. Of course, Kubwa has not gotten, the minister has not gotten to Kubwa the way we want him to go to work in Kubwa. But I know it is coming. But look at the infrastructures that have been provided. So all those hinterlands, all those satellite areas that were before now abandoned are being touched. And that is what government is all about. Yes, we are not yet there in terms of the economy. I will not come here and start lying about that. It's not yet to Huru. In terms of security, we are facing our challenges. But President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has taken the bull by the horn. And that is why you see governor of my state, for the first time, Delta has become an APC state. Akwa Ibom has become an APC state. You can say in Akwa Ibom, it might not have been bad like Delta, where we had so much friction. Akwa Ibom, they had this kind of unity, they had this kind of seamless unity between my boss, Godswill Akpabio, and Pastor Omoeno. Well, in Delta, it wasn't the same. But there was a whole lot of opposition to Governor Sheriff. Until now, he has joined the APC. So where is the opposition going to come from?
Well, okay.